So I started recording a full tutorial of this camera, a step-by-step guide, and talking about all the features and how to use this camera properly. And in the process of doing some research on the internet and looking at YouTube, I found some other people that have done an incredible job of it. So rather than rehash the same information in this video, I'm just going to link what I think is the best video explaining the features of this camera in the description section. So when you finish watching this video, then you can go over and watch that video as well if you want to learn how to use this camera, or if you want to learn all the features step by step. In this video, however, I'm going to just tell you how I feel about this camera, and I'm going to show you some pictures. So first and foremost, this isn't the kit lens that this camera came with. I have replaced the kit lens with the 50mm f1.8 Nifty 50 from Canon, which is an incredible lens. It's cheap and cheerful. Obviously it's plasticky, but it takes amazing photos. It's sharp, high resolution, and it does the job brilliantly. But it's an EF mount lens, so you can swap it with any EF lens that you already own from Canon. My first impression with this camera is it's really quite similar to shooting a digital SLR. The reason being, this is one of the last cameras that Canon made in the EOS SLR category before switching over to digital. In fact, I think they made one after this, which was the 300V, which was just a slight upgrade of this one. And after that, they transitioned to the digital 300s, or the Digital Rebel as it is known in America. I own a 350D, which is the upgrade from the 300D or the Digital Rebel. And to be honest, it just felt like I was using the same camera. I mean, obviously, this one is a little bit lighter and it's film. So the main difference that you're going to notice, obviously, is you're not going to be able to preview your shots or look at your shots once you've taken them. On this camera, you can look at your shots after you've taken them, but you don't get the LCD preview. And of course, back in the day, these SLRs couldn't shoot video. So honestly, if you know how to use any of these digital SLRs from Canon, 350D, 5D, any of these, even from Nikon, because the settings are pretty much the same. Obviously, some of the settings are named differently, especially the shutter speed priority. But once you know what's what, it's pretty much the same idea. The thing is, by the time this camera was released at the turn of the millennium, most of the problems associated with shooting film in terms of technology were already solved, I think. Because it's a cheap plasticky camera that was made for the consumer market, it's not physically rugged and it wouldn't last you as long as something like a Leica M or a Bessa R camera, or any of the rugged Olympus cameras, or something like a Nikon F, or some stuff from Canon. Eventually the electronics will fail, eventually something will happen, water will get in there, or they're just going to stop responding after a few activations of the shutter. But technologically speaking, this camera probably beats everything before it in terms of accuracy of the shutter, in terms of the ability to control the aperture accurately. So the exposures you're going to get from this camera are probably going to be spot on every single time, unless something drastic happens. When you load the film for the first time, it winds the entire film, and then as you take the pictures, it sends it back into the canister. There's less chance of exposing an already shot frame by opening the back. So if you accidentally open the back, you're only going to expose shots that you haven't taken yet. There are positives and negatives associated with that. Also, because it's quite light, it's quite comfortable to use all day, so it's suitable for travel photography and street photography as well. Because it's a 35mm camera, you're getting the full frame, so a 50mm lens is good enough for street photography because you get that extra width, as opposed to when I have it loaded on my digital crop sensor camera. Another great thing about this camera is, of course, with the 2 rolls that I put in there, or 36 exposures, I got 36 perfectly exposed frames. So basically, if handled properly, this camera is going to get you all your frames exposed perfectly. It's up to you to deal with composition, lighting, and find an interesting subject. Right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.